Hello and welcome to the Happiness Is podcast with me, your host, Bruce Aitchison, for a very special Happiness Is podcast. We're in the midst of the World Cup, and as you can see, I'm sporting my Doddie t-shirt. So what two things can you put together? Doddie wear and a World Cup. And then when you add one of his crazy mates, Kenny Logan, you say, right, let's do some kind of nonsense challenge to raise more funds and more awareness for this fight we've got to try and get a cure for MND. Let's not waste any time because this man is very, very busy. Let's bring him in, the one and the only, Kenny Logan. Hello, sir.
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, very well. You are some man. You just to make life even busier, you decide let's do a crazy challenge for the World Cup.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. 7 days. We've got we walk, cycle all the way to Paris for the match ball for the Scotland Ireland game. Sounds easy, doesn't it?
Sounds easy. Oh, the walking bit sounds quite nice.
Actually, the guy who did the recce said to me, after you've been on the bike for 100 miles, then you've got to walk the next day. He says, not as easy as you think it is. And I was like, I've walked before. I walk every day. He said, well, so I did a 16-mile walk the other week there, and my legs were oh. So it's a different muscle, but I was going to cycle the whole way. No, in fact, my first challenge was going to walk the whole way. I thought, let's walk it. And then I worked out that was going to take me like 6 weeks. And I thought, I can't do 6 weeks. Then I thought, if I cycle the whole thing, it's a bit boring, so let's do a bit of both cycling and walking. So that's what we're doing.
So I love speaking to people like Rob Wainwright. When you dream these things up, where does it come from? Where did you get this idea from? Why now?
Well, I played in 3 World Cups with Doddie. Obviously, Doddie passing almost a year ago. That I just wanted to do something to keep things moving, keep the momentum. But it was quite funny. I sort of ran it past a couple of people and went, that sounds like a good idea. And I ran off and went, right, I'm doing it. If people had said, oh, that's stupid, don't do that, it's crazy. But they thought, oh, that sounds quite interesting. I quite like it. I'll do the walk. And then suddenly I go, I'll do both. And then so I sort of got a bit of momentum. Then the more people asked, so like said to Jimmy Nesbitt, he goes, I'll do it. And then Ali McCoy said he'll do it. And then I thought, it must be too easy if these 2 blokes are trying to do it. And then I gave it to a couple of other people that are really fit, and they're going, okay, that's quite a big challenge, mate. That's a lot. I don't know. I'll get back to you. And that was the fit guys. So the guys who weren't as fit was just going, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, no worries, I'll do it. So then it just sort of happened, and then we spoke to World Rugby, and they said, look, why do you not bring the ball with you and Hamish? So Hamish, Weir and I are going to deliver the ball. And it sort of snowballed, just continued, and then we had a lot of sponsors coming on board and wanted to be part of the journey. So it's been a busy sort of couple of months pulling it all together, but it's going to be brilliant. We've got a great support team, got good celebs coming along. Gabby's coming along, my wife, Kirsty Gallagher, Jimmy Bamber, George Cruz is coming. I think Stuart Hogg's doing a little bit. Who else? God, there's some others. I don't know who the other ones are.
You've got lots to remember. You've got lots to remember.
Jason Fox.
He'll do it walking on his hands, won't he?
Well, I've been in the bike with him. He may be fit, but he needs. I said to him, you need legs you need legs for these hills, not chicken drumsticks. No, he'll be fine. He's strong as an ox. And met the famous Mel Dean. So yeah, it's all good.
It's class, and there's a bit in here though where it's getting the team back together. It feels like a changing room again, and we all miss that. No matter what we say, we all miss that.
To be honest, I do miss the changing room banter. You know, my son's now playing at Northampton, and I'm always in he's desperate to get the banter off him, and he doesn't really give you all the banter. He gives you a little bit, but yeah, it'll be good fun. We had a team call just before this. Everybody's asking questions, and you know what do I need to bring, and it's going to be good crack. And when you're struggling in days like that, everyone pick each other up. It's a bit like the game day. So I'm really looking forward to it, and if hopefully raise some good funds in the way there.
And you've already done a huge amount, and the company's done a huge amount, and your family's done a huge amount for the charity and to support the family. But this is the first thing that's really got your name on it. This is you that's doing this. It's you that's driven that. Did you feel a need for that?
No, I just wanted to do something. I think, and I wanted to. I said, you know, I've had a you know, I had prostate cancer last year, so maybe there's a bit of that took me on saying, you know, I can do this. And, you know, I was lucky to have something that could be removed from the system, from my body, where Doddie wasn't. Doddie's got a horrific disease. It was underfunded. And I suppose maybe that was the back of my head. I don't know. I just wanted to do something. And again, the awareness and World Cups, a big event, third biggest event in the world, and sporting events. So I thought, like, we've got a chance to really give it some major exposure, and the French press are getting aboard with it. So it's been good. It's been really, really positive. And I know that a lot of the boys and there's a lot of great people doing things during the Rugby World Cup for Doddie and different charities. So it's just the opportunity to be able to do something. You know, I can do something, and other people certainly sometimes can't. So, and I see what these, you know, what people go through with M&D. It's horrific, and if I can make a little dent and make a little impact, that'll be great.
Have you been on the phone to Sir Kevin? We had a chat to Kevin Sinfield to see what.
He's on my list for a video message. No, he's
a busy boy.
He's a busy boy. He's got nothing. He's done a couple of good weeks actually. They don't score many tries unless the odd header.
But that's not his gig. His gig's to stop him scoring tries.
The defence has been good the last couple of weeks for them.
Have you enjoyed watching the World Cup?
Yeah, this is the first one for a long time. I'm not hugely been involved in it because we usually we've got some stuff to do on it, but not a huge amount as previous World Cups. But I'm looking forward to, you know, there's certain games you look at. You know, I'm looking forward to see Wales against Australia coming up. I mean, South Africa, Ireland's going to be epic. I mean, the way Ireland are playing and the way South Africa have turned up, it's going to be some test match, those two. And then 7 days later, the crunch match. You know, the winner takes all, really. Because South Africa beat Ireland, Scotland, it's got to be Ireland. And you know, do we sort of? It's a hard group. Everybody talks about the group of death, but if you want to do well in the World Cup, you've got to beat these teams. Ireland, number one in the world, look good, look ruthless. You know, certainly Romania, and even who they played the other day. They played Tonga. Yeah, they look good. You know, and the Bokkers are looking strong as ever.
It's just that game is going to be huge. How optimistic are you for Scotland?
I'm very optimistic. I think we're a good team. We're a very good team. I think the players would look back at the South Africa game and thinking that when they stepped up, they probably didn't step up as much. And I think the players will realise that that there's more in them. Maybe I find it hard to say that there's more in them because when you play international rugby, you never think, God, I've got an extra 40% to play. But I think they stepped up and we didn't quite match it. In the first half, we did really well. They defended, put a lot of chaos in defence and made Finn sort of stumble a little bit. Finn got that little knock, and after that, he got that knock. You could see he wasn't quite the same. But you don't win a pool match in one game. There's loads of games to play. You know, we've got the Romania Tonga games. We've got to go out and give them a good saying to. We can't be seen to be winning by 10 points, 20 points. We've got to be winning by 50 points. And if we can do that, that puts another big flag in the sand, a statement down to the Irish. But Ireland know how good Scotland are, right? They know they can beat people. One-off games, Scotland can beat anybody in the world. Ireland are looking good. You know, they really are looking good. Sexton's come back after a long layoff. They've got a lot of good depth. They've got a good bit of belief in them. So it's going to be a great test match. Absolutely brilliant test match. Both of them.
How much have you enjoyed watching the likes of Fiji and Uruguay and some of the other teams?
Do you know, I've really enjoyed watching Fiji. I mean, I played in 2003 World Cup when everybody thought Fiji was going to get out of the group, and we got out of the group. Thompson has scored a try. So they've been good for a while, but I tell you what's good about them now, their discipline's a lot better. You know, against Australia, they gave away, I think Australia gave 15 penalties away, and Fiji gave away about 6 or 7, which is good for international. That's a good level of penalties. So it's sort of swapped round because they were constantly giving penalties away and running the ball from the wrong areas. They've got a game plan, they'll be a hard team to beat. They will be a hard team to beat. And, you know, I know Australia, you know, they're now got the Wales game, but they would have been thinking they beat Fiji. They know Fiji pretty well. Physical boys too. She's physical and talented. So I've enjoyed watching them. Uruguay, good. Japan, it's interesting. I thought Japan would have been a bit tougher yesterday. I'm not disappointed. I just thought they'd be a bit more physical and actually give England a bit more of a hard time. But England,
there was some flashes of brilliance, though, wasn't there? There was some bits at absolute
consistent
tempo, and then they got into 22 and blew it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of times, and you notice in this tournament, there's a lot of the ball is a little bit greasier because it's a bit hotter, a bit stickier, and the ball just got you've really got to be secure on the ball. And there was a lot of times Japan, even England, just getting to the final moment and knocking it on. And a lot of the boys are really targeting the arms and the tackle to try and spill that ball because it's a bit slidey and the arms are sweaty. So it's been a great tournament, and we're only a week into it. It's been brilliant.
It's class. Your own World Cup memories? Anything stands out?
Yeah, it's one about Doddie actually. We went to 90 the New Zealand. South Africa 95 World Cup. We were there for 10 days before the game, and we're sort of told not to go out. And I was sharing with Craig Chalmers, and Doddie was next door. And Gavin, who was the captain, by the way, said, "We'll go out for the beer." So we got the security guard. So we take a security guard out with us. So we go out, and he's got guns. He's got like holsters and guns, and every hole in his body he could put them in. And he says, "Right, lads, just keep it low key, right? A couple of beers low key." And I looked round, Doddie's on the stage like that with his top off, swinging his Scotland jersey. I went, "It might be a bit late for Doddie, but I know we'll get the beers and you better go." And he's running, "Get down, Doddie, go down, Doddie, Doddie, get down." He's going, "Get the boys up here, it's brilliant." So, yeah, that was a good memory, but I was a non-player. But, you know, we played against the All Blacks, Jonah Lomo, when, you know, I tell you, that was another tournament. We played against France. We had to beat France. We'd beaten France in the Six Nations. We came second in the Six Nations to England, lost in the Grand Slam against England. And we were winning with 6 points with 2 seconds to go, 3 seconds to go. And Intermax scored in the corner on the touchline. So they had to kick the goal to win it. So with them winning it, we go off and play South Africa. We go off and play New Zealand. They go off and play Ireland, who we hadn't lost to for years. And they lost to, I think they lost to South Africa, France, quarterfinals. So there's little moments in World Cups that you just are not far away from going on the right side of the draw and just giving yourself that opportunity to get in the semi-final. So that was one that was pretty hard work because we did really well in the Six Nations and Five Nations in those days. 2003 or 99 was a weird World Cup because it was spread across England, Ireland, and England, Wales, and Scotland. So nobody
was even a game in Gala, Kenny.
There's a game in Gala. There's so spread as it was. So I suppose it was a bit of a weird World Cup. But again, we played New Zealand, played well. First half we struggled. Second half we did really well. Played well in the second half, and actually we just started running at them, and that's what the French did when they played them, and they didn't like you running at them. 2003 was my last World Cup. It's quite a funny story. This is before the game. So there's me in the middle of the pitch. So Mossy was the goal kicker, Chris Patterson, and he was playing 10. He'd moved from wing fullback to 10, and Gregor had moved from 10 to centre. And Mossy was goal kicking, and I was the second goal kicker, but I was happy for Mossy to kick. I was well over the goal kicking duties by that time. So there's a guy called Ben Henshelwood, and he was practicing his spiral kicks. And Chris Patterson's in the middle of the pitch on the halfway line, and him and I battle him over from the halfway line. And he comes back and stands there. And as I look, Ben Henshelwood has just spooned one off the side of his foot, and this torpedo kick hits Mossy at the side, and Mossy just goes, just falls over, right? I look like that, and I look across to Henshelwood, and Henshelwood's going like this, and I'm going, and I look at Greg and I think, Mossy, come on, wake up, Mossy. He's going, oh, what happened? So anyway, and again, these are the smelling salts days. So a wee bit of smelling salts for Mossy, And Gregor goes, I says to Gregor, you know what this means? He goes, yeah, you're going to goal kick him. And even worse, you're playing 10. So anyway, went in the change rooms and they're going, oh, Mossy, come on, man. And this is, man, I'm retiring. And Gregor wasn't retiring, but he was retiring. He just didn't know it, right? And me and Mossy me and Brian Redpath were retiring. Oh my God. I was going, come on, give him some more smelling salts because I needed him to play. And he did play. And he dropped a goal from 50 yards. I think he can remember it, to be fair. But he did drop a goal from 50 yards. And we were sort of 9. It was a funny game. We were something like 9-0 up. And then we'd got they put as a penalty to us. And he played an advantage. And Gregor kicked it and I caught it under the post. We're now should be 16-0 up. And then they pulled us back because they said something else went wrong. And he gave us a penalty rather than an advantage. There was a lot of little things in games. And I think when you get to this level now, there's little bits that we look back on, you just have to rub it off. For now, the video ref would look up and go, all right, that's a try. Try given. Yellow card to you for the punch. Wendell Sailor on Nathan Hines. Two Aussies having a bit of go at each other. But it was. Do you know what? World Cups are brilliant. They're special. It comes around every 4 years. Sometimes you miss them. I was lucky that I got 3 and just got my timings right. But you do miss these tours. I know great players that have only played in one World Cup and just missed out with injury or form. So it credit to the guys that are there. I think this is probably one of the best squads Scotland ever had. You know,
Jeez, your memory's impressive. Your memory's really impressive. You were way back there.
I know.
You were away.
What was the question anyway?
So when you get there, I mean, the French, it sounds like, are embracing this, which is an amazing thing because they've got so many other things going on. It looks like it's been an amazing experience apart from running out of beer in the stadiums, but I'm pretty sure we'll have that fixed by the time you get there.
We'll have it fixed by the time we get there.
I'll bet you will. So when you get to Paris, what's the finale?
So we arrive at Paris on the day of the game and we all ride through Paris. It's a 50-mile ride that day, so it's quite an easy one. And then we're doing something hopefully at the Scottish Embassy. I think we might be meeting the First Minister. I think he's desperate to meet me. We then walk with a crowd of about 60 of us. So all the people involved in the challenge and different people, people who have kindly donated, are going to walk another 3 miles with a match ball, and that me and Hamish Weir will deliver that to the 2 captains, and that'll be our job done. Off to the pub.
Off to the pub. That's going to be an incredible finish because this Scotland-Ireland game, there are people who are just going for that one game, and obviously the relationship Scotland and Ireland rugby fans have got is spectacular.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's going to be pretty special by the time you've got there. You've been quite emotional through quite a lot of the last 7 to 8 years with Doddie's journey. Yeah. Are you ready for that bit?
Do you know, it's quite weird because you work on Doddie all the time and you see Doddie in pictures all the time. I feel him still very much around me and very much around the foundation. He's you know, when somebody goes, you feel that you lose them, and I'm sure we have lost a great man, but you can still feel him around the foundation and everything we do. We've got a big DAF truck, which staff have sponsored, and it's got a massive billboard of Doddie on it, myself, and you know, the world free of M&D and text and 8. So every time you see Doddie, you feel him with you. So it is great. It's emotional, because I know that this is something you'd want to be in a car, given the stick on or at the end of it. So yeah, it will be emotional for everybody. And I think when you do challenges, the emotions do come because you get tired and you get stressed and you get exhausted and all these different things come, as you well know. You get crabby, you know. You just got to go on with it. But we're lucky that we can do this.
I get exactly what you mean. That I was worried that the legacy maybe wasn't going to be quite as strong as it's been, but it seems like it's stronger than it's ever been. And you mentioned Doddie there. Could you think of anything more than Scotland, Ireland, free flowing Guinness in Paris? The big man would be in his element.
In his element. He'd just be going out for that. It's interesting you say that when the foundation, when Doddie passed, everybody thought there'd be a little upsurge. But the surge has been the amount of people that come to me in England or all over the UK and say, we've got to find a cure. Doddie very quickly realised he wasn't doing it for himself. He was doing it for M&D in the future. M&D sufferers who get it today, can they find something in 2 to 3 years? So, this is not about, and I think Doddie would say it, this is about us finding something and leaving a legacy that Doddie started off, and we need to finish it.
And the total that you've set yourself, are you confident you're going to hit that? Must be.
We've gone for 555, so 555, all the fives. We are running about, I think we're about halfway at the moment. So another half would be great. So if you want to stick some cash in,
absolutely.
Please go to the website. But listen, the support has been great over the years for Doddie, and I know we keep coming back, but we know it's underfunded, and we know that once we find something that can make an impact for these people with M&D, that this will be a big celebration for everybody. We're doing these challenges, and some people who support us, they're with us all the way. We don't just think it's about us. It's about the people putting the £1 in, the 50 quid in. We had one lady donated a lot of money to one of the, I can't mention her name, but she donated over 50,000 to one of our competitors. So she was touched by what we're trying to do and what the foundation's trying to do. So it's not just the person with the £1, it's the person at the top and the person at the bottom. We're working for everybody. And that's when you're at a hill and you're struggling to go up a hill. You're thinking about the big man, thinking about the people that are supporting you, and that's what gets you up there. So the support is huge.
It sounds brilliant. And you're leaving from Edinburgh?
I leave from Murrayfield Stadium on the 1st of October, and we head to Newcastle. It's a short journey to Newcastle. I didn't realise this, but it's like that at Edinburgh for ages, seemingly. Now, I remember coming in the other way. I used to come in the other way going, Jesus Christ, you're freewheeling for ages. Now I'm going the other way. So I'm like thinking, should have done the other way around.
I'm pretty sure Kev Simfield said that about running, that there was a lot uphill. There was a lot. Yeah, you'll be all right. Just drop a gear, you'll be fine.
Drop a gear.
So when you get to Paris, obviously the big finale would be Scotland to beat Ireland. Can they do it?
Of course they can do it. They're going to need to, first and foremost, they've got to think about Tonga and Romania. Yeah. They've got to bank some points against those boys, because we might need the points,
I worry about the Tonga game.
Tonga game will be hard. The thing is, you look at it now. If South Africa lose to Ireland, we need to be smashing Tonga, and we need to be smashing Romania. Now, if Ireland lose to South Africa, we just need to beat them. It doesn't make a difference. We just need to beat them. As long as we get a bonus points, we need to beat them, because that'll then lost 2 games and we've only lost 1. So, but Gregor's not thinking about that game. Gregor's thinking about got to beat Tonga, got to beat Tonga well, got to beat.
Do you believe that?
Well.
Do you believe that?
You have to.
Is it football one game at a time? No. Come on, it must be all about the Ireland game.
If you start thinking about that bit over there, you forget the middle bit. You never get to that bit, because if you make a mistake, that bit's gone anyway. So you've got to do. I know they say one game at a time, and we fans all go, "Oh, like the Scotland Ireland game." These 2 other games, as I said earlier, Ireland have gone into this going, right, we need to smash these teams, because if we smash them, that means that we've got more points than everybody else. And that's why South Africa yesterday banged as much points as possible, because they might need it. Right? We need to do the same. Because if Scotland beat Ireland, that's all top teams have all lost the game. all down to points. So, and that
it's
is
too hard
very,
sums for me.
Exactly.
The sums are too hard.
You're a forward, you see.
I wish I'd been a forward.
Yeah.
I can't even claim that one.
Oh,
So, who you've got Rob Wainwright on your team for a bit?
He's coming in for the day because I think he struggles with the pace, Rob. You know, I mean, he's getting old now. He's coming in for the day. And then he says he's going to cycle back up home, which is like another 500 miles. Rob's coming in for the day, but he's going to join us. It'll be good. Good crack. Looking forward to it. It's good to see Coist. He's lost some weight. It looks good. I must admit, it looks really good.
Who's looking after him? I worry that he'll forget or he'll not bring his cycling shorts. Or who's caring for him?
I've been caring for him for too long.
How big's your support team? Because surely there's enough to worry about without adding Ali McCoist to all this.
I think once we get him there, it'll be all right. Right? You know what Ali's like. You just got to get him there. So once we get Coist, to be fair dues to him, he's been texting me every couple of days and picking his phone up, but it's unheard of. Because he said to me the other day, Specialized have given us these bikes, and he said, something wrong with the gears. I said, have you charged the battery up? He went, what battery? I said, the battery on the gears. He went, to get Viv to come and pick me up halfway up some mountain somewhere. So anyway, he's now learned how to charge the gears. But he'll be fine. He's good. He's lost weight. He looks good.
He'll be brilliant for keeping everybody going, though.
And they've got Jimmy Nesbitt, who's just as mad as he is, so we'll be fine.
And he's obviously not going to be supporting Scotland, so there's going to be a bit of banter on the way.
And we've got Mel Dean, who's fitness coach to the Stars, ex-Ireland B player. He's going to be there. And the other interesting, when we get to Marlow, Todd Courage has given us he's put his restaurant up for us. He's feeding everybody for the night.
Oh, what?
Which will be, I'm actually, that's my, and once we get to sort of Marlow, we've done about 300 odd miles, and we're sort of like, we've broken the back out the big days, and then it's sort of like 90 miles, maybe 95. It's like, that 5 miles, that's like 10 minutes earlier finish.
What's your longest walk?
It's between 16 and 13 miles. So it'll be 4 or 5 hours walking.
That's a lot. But like you say, when you've been off the bike,
the feet in the bike, feet there. I don't know. We'll see how we go.
You're some man. It's a brilliant challenge.
We've got a good support team. We've got good people helping us. We've got plenty of ice baths. We'll be fine.
And you mentioned your boy before. He's going well at Northampton.
Yeah, he played his first game last week. Came off the bench.
I saw that. It was a very good family portrait on the touchline.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice to. It's a really nice club, and he's enjoying it.
And I noticed you were probably standing on your tiptoes for that picture, were you?
Oh, he's a bit big. Once I find out who his dad is, you know what I mean?
He's a big lump of a boy.
Good job he's got the chin. His dad. No, he's a big lad. I think Gabby fed him too well. She starved us and fed him strong.
Is he enjoying it?
Yeah, he is. He's enjoying it. Yeah, it's different because he's got he's living away from home. He's probably he hasn't done that before. So, and new teammates. I suppose if he was at Wasp and knowing a lot of the coaches and knowing a lot of the players, he's gone to a new club, young age. It's a bit different. Most of the other guys have been Northampton all the time. So, yeah, but it's good. It's only about an hour and a half away from here, so it's good. It's good to go and catch up with him. Looking forward to. He'll probably go out on loan soon, so looking forward to him get down to the nitty-gritty championship or Nat 1, see how that goes.
Who's finding it harder on being away from home, him or his old man?
I do miss him. And I think I do miss him. Yeah, I miss having him round. I speak to him a lot on the phone. How are you getting on? What's the banter? What's been happening at training? Dad, I can't tell you.
Brilliant. I love it. Well, I hope the challenge goes well, my man. You deserve everything you get. It's absolutely spectacular. I'm hopefully going to see you at some point on it. But give us one last rallying call and we'll clip that bit and we'll put it out there. So go for it. The stage is yours.
So thank you for giving me the stage, but also I want to thank everybody who supported the foundation over the last 6 or 7 years. it's well documented. It's an underfunded disease, and we need to find something that can make an impact for people with M&D. Kenny Logan World Cup Challenge is just one of the things going on over the Rugby World Cup. But if you could support the challenge and everyone else to find a cure for M&D, this would be most appreciated. And let's be part of the cure. Thank you.
You're an absolute star. All the best, my man. I hope it goes well. And
Cheers, Paul.
I'm hoping that ball's going to bring Scotland luck, and we might
Yeah,
get
no,
out the group.
I'll give it the touch, Bruce. Don't worry. I'll take it to bed every night. Hug it.
Well, there might be somebody that's not happy with that idea.
No, I should be fine.
She'll be delighted. Class. Cheers, Kenny.
Come
all
on,
the best.
cheers, Paul.
Speak soon.
Thanks, mate.
Absolutely love it. Kenny Logan's Rugby World Cup Challenge. You can see the website there. If you can donate, if you can get along to support, I'm sure they'll appreciate it. It's going to be absolutely spectacular, and we'll be all over it on Happiness is Egg-Shaped to try and help promote it. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying the World Cup. I hope you're getting involved. I hope you're being respectful online, because some of the stuff I've read is pretty grim. And I cannot wait to be there. Scotland, Romania, come on. I cannot wait. And who knows what state we'll be in by then, because it has been absolutely brilliant to watch. My name is Bruce Aitchison from the Happiness Is podcast. My happiness is egg-shaped. You can listen on Acast, Spotify, and Apple. You can watch on YouTube and Facebook. I look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon.